places in Europe and so little time to see them all. If you're trying to decide where you should be going on your trip to Europe, it's hard, I get it, I've been there. So today I'm gonna help you choose where you should go on your trip to Europe. Also, I have a free gift for you at the end of this video, so make sure you watch it all the way to the end, and it's gonna help you with your planning even more. So, what is your budget like? If you want to visit the most popular cities in Europe, like London, Paris, or Rome, but are hoping to travel on a shoestring budget, you're gonna be eating beans for every single one of your meals while you're traveling. Those places are expensive to visit. So keep that in mind if you are budget conscious. And take note that Eastern Europe is typically a lot cheaper than visiting Western Europe. So think about exploring that area more than Western. And even if you're not traveling on a backpacker budget, keep in mind that prices for accommodation and travel will vary significantly depending on what time of the year you're traveling. How long will your trip be? No matter how long it is, I need to stress that you cannot do it all. And if you try, you will get stressed and worn out. And you won't even enjoy your trip, so what's the point? So even if you have a long list of places that you want to see on this trip, you're gonna have to be realistic and not overbook yourself. As a rule of thumb, I always say that you should spend at least 2 nights in every destination that you visit, and that way you don't get worn out, you waste less time traveling on buses and trains, and you actually get to explore each place that you visit properly. Although I would say there are a lot of places in Europe that you need more than 2 nights to explore, but you get the point. Do you want to visit the popular spots or go off the beaten path? I'm team off the beaten path, not only because I like to discover and explore places that aren't as well known, I also like to stay away from the crowds and the selfie sticks. However, I know that's not everybody's travel style, and there are some absolutely incredible sights to be seen in the most popular destinations, including London, hello. But when you're planning your trip, decide if you want to see all those world famous sites or if you want to get off the beaten path, because that will help you to decide ultimately where you're gonna go. Figure out what kind of trip this is going to be. Do you want to lay by the pool and the beach all day? Do you want to experience the best of Europe's nightlife? Do you want to see all the sights in the cities, or do you want to just relax in the countryside? Knowing what kind of trip you want this to be will help you to decide where you want to go. For example, if you want the beach and you want the sun, Croatia would be a great place to visit. However, if you're looking to see some of the world famous sites, you'd probably like to visit somewhere else. Consider focusing on one country or one region of Europe. When I went traveling after I graduated college, I didn't plan out my route very well, and we ended up spending a lot of time sitting on trains or on airplanes or at the airport instead of exploring. That's because I was hopping all around Europe instead of sticking to one specific area. So that's what I recommend that you do. Stick to one area, which means you'll have less time traveling, you'll spend less on transportation, and if you decide to stick to one country, you'll have to deal with only one currency and one foreign language. Unless you go to Switzerland, there's like 4 different ones. Finally, okay, it's time to choose where you're actually going to go. So go ahead and sit down and make a list of all the places that you'd like to visit on your trip, then narrow it down to what you can realistically visit. So remember my 2-night rule and everything else I just talked about when you're making that list. And if you're sitting there being like, oh my God, Jess, that was just so much information, I still need help, then you're gonna wanna download my free Europe trip planning guide. It's an ebook that helps you plan your perfect Europe trip down to vetting who you should be traveling with. And of course, I help you to finally narrow down that list of where you should go. So click the link that's down below in the description, or that's popping up around here, so you can download the guide for free. And once you've done all that, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I have more tips for planning your Euro trip coming your way in the next couple of weeks, and you don't want to miss them. See you in the next video. So you want to go to Europe, but you're not quite sure how to start your planning? Here's how to do it. First things first, you're gonna need to figure out your budget. How much do you want to